of videos in which we will learn the Flexbox by playing this game. There are I think 24 levels, and we will complete all those levels one by one. So what is Flexbox? So Flexbox is actually like a flexible box. You can arrange the elements in the box according to your need. You can arrange them in the center, in the end, and the start. It's like a flexible box. You can arrange them anywhere you want. So for example, this is actually a pond, right? Here you can see that its ID is pond. Then what we have to do is we have to help this frog to reach this lily pad. So first of all, we have to apply the display property to the parent class, the container. So the Flexbox display flex is already applied, and then there is a property justify content. Means that we can justify this content inside this container by using justify content with the values. You can use any one of them. For example, if we use justify content, if we do it center, you can see that this frog has now in the center of the container, right? It's center horizontally. But if you do it flex around, it has no effect, because there is only one child element. So these properties like space between, space around, these applied on the multiple children. So what we have to do is we have to reach this frog in this lily pad. So it's now in the start. We have to make it the end of this container. So we can use this property like flex start. Flex start is by default, the frog is currently now, and if we use flex end, right, now it is reached in this lily pad. So the first level is completed, and we will level. So what we have to do now is we have to reach this frog, the yellow frog in the yellow lily pad, and the green frog in the green lily pad. So you can see that now we have the multiple children. This is a container, and we have these two children now. So I already told you that we can use these two properties on the multiple children. So if we apply justify content, space between, then you can see that there is a space as much space as they are now. One is on the start and one is on the end. So there is a space between these two children. So now they are not in their positions. So we can use, if we use them in the center, let's say, so these two are now on their positions. So the second level is also completed. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, in this video, in this level, we will again same. We have to do that the yellow frog should reach this yellow lily pad, and the green should be in the green lily pad, and the red frog should be in this red lily pad. So we can use this property justify content. If we write here justify content space around, right? So now they are in their positions. So if we use space between, now they are not in their position, they have as much space as available between them, so they are not in their position. So we have to use space around. So now they are in their position. So this level is also completed. Let's move on to the next level. All right. in this level, same again we have to do that. The red frog should reach this red lily pad, and the yellow should reach this yellow lily pad. So we can use this property justify content if we use space between, right? So they are in their positions. Okay, so this level is also completed. Let's move on to the next level. All right, so in this video in this level what we have to do is, previously we were arranging them horizontally. Now what we have to do is we have to arrange them vertically. So what is the property that we can use? We can use the align property. So align property is used to align the items vertically. They have the same, they are the align items support these 5 values. Flex start, that is the by default they are on the start. If we use flex end, they will be in the vertically end, they will be arranged vertically to the end of the container. And if we use center, they will be vertically center. For example, align items, if we use center, you can see that they are now in the center of the container vertically. So align items is used for aligning the items vertically. So we have to use flex end. Now they have reached their positions. That's all for this level. Let's move on to the next level. All right, now you can see that this is center horizontally and vertically also. So as we have already learned that we can use the justify content center to center the children horizontally, and we can use the center align items to align the items vertically. So first of all we will use justify content center. So it is now horizontally center, and we know that we can use the align items to align the items vertically. So if we use align items, if we use center, it will be center vertically. So it's now exactly in the center horizontally and vertically. That is the level 6. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, now this is the level 7. What we have to do is first of all we have to arrange them in the end of the container. So you know that we can use the align items property, align items to the end, right? So now they have reached to the end of the container. Now what we can do is we have to now make them stretch or spread horizontally. So we know that we can use the justify content property. Justify content, if we use center. So now all the three children are now horizontally centered, but that's not the solution because they are not in their positions. So we can use space around. So now they are in their positions. So space around is they have the equal space between them and around them. So space around means that this property is means what it will do, what it does is it align horizontally by equal spacing. So they have now equal spacing around and between them. Okay, so this is the level 7. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so in this level we will learn a new property, that is flex direction. We can change the direction of the children by using this flex direction. Flex direction. So what values we can use them? We can use row reverse, column and column reverse. If we use so the row is by default that is applied already. So if we use row, there is no effect. So if we use column, they will be in the column. So now they will be in the column. If we use column reverse, they will be in the column but in the reverse order. For example, the green is on the top, but in the column reverse, what it will do is the red will be on the top, yellow will be in the center again, and the green will be at the end. For example, if we use column reverse, you can see that the red is on the top, and yellow is again in the center, and the green is. But what we have to do is here we have to reverse them in the row. So for example, the red is in their is again currently the red is at the end, but when we use row reverse, the red will be at the first, yellow will be second, and the green will be on the last. So we can use row reverse. Alright, so now they have now reached their positions. That's the level 8. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so we have already learned that the flex direction, we can change the direction. So they are now in the row. We can change the direction by using the column. For example, flex direction, we can use the column. Now they are in the column and they have also reached their positions. So this level is also completed. Okay, let's move on to the next level. Okay, so this is the level 10. What we have to do here is they are now in the wrong direction. So we can use two properties to arrange them in their positions. So what we can do here is if we use what we have to do is we have to use only the row property, all the properties that acts on the row. So we know that first property we learned was the justify content. Justify content. If we write flex end, so you can see that they are now arranged at the end of the container in the row. So you should keep in mind that this justify content acts upon in the row. It will arrange the children in the row, and then we can use the flex direction. We know that with the flex direction we can change the reverse the positions as well. So for example, we know that the red should be on the start and the yellow should be on the in the center and the green should be at the end, but currently now they are in the reverse. So we can use flex direction, we can use row and then reverse. So now they have reached their positions. You can arrange them in any order, it will not matter. For example, if you write this property on the top and this will in the end, it does not matter. So this level is also completed. Let's move on to the level 11. Alright, in this level what we have to do is currently the frogs are in the row, but first what we can do is we can arrange them in the vertical. So we know that which property that makes the children vertically, arrange the children vertically, that is align items. Align items. If we use center, so you can see that they are in the center. So before that what we can do is we can change the direction. They are now in the row direction, but we can change the direction to the column. First we can use the flex direction. Flex direction we can use to column. So now they are in the column direction, and now we can see that the red frog is at the end and the yellow is in the center and the green is at the start, and that's the same position as their lily pods. The red lily pod is in the end, yellow lily pod is in the center, and the green is on the start. So we can use the which property we can use? We can use align items. What property we can use? If we use center, they will be in the center. Since we have changed the direction of the frogs, so line items is now acting inversely, means that if I remove this one, you can see that currently the frogs are in the row column. If I use align items, it will make the frogs vertically center. But if we use flex direction to column, previously they were in the row direction. So so if we use align items, it will align the items vertically in the column, right? So we have to use the justify content. Justify content. I already told you that when we change the direction of the children, then these properties gets inverse. For example, align items was aligning the items horizontally instead of vertically, and the justify content that that works on row now works on the column, because we change the direction. So we use the justify content, and what we can do is we can use justify content end, right? I hope you understand this. This was a little complex, because in the flex direction, when we change from row to column, the other properties gets inverse. The justify content that was previously works on the row now acts on the column, right? So that's all for this level. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so you should now guess that currently they are in the row. First we can make them in the column, because the lily pads are in the column. So what we can do is we can change the direction to column. Flex direction column, right? So now they are in the column. And now we already know that we can use the column reverse. If we use column, we know that we can see that the red should be on the top, so we can use the column reverse, right? So the red is on the top, yellow is on the center, and the green is at the end. So they are in the column. And the other property that we can use is, since we have changed the direction, so instead of using the align items, we have to use the justify content. Justify content, we can use space between, right? So now they are in their positions. So the level 12 is completed. Let's move on to the next level. All right, so we have to use the three properties that we have learned to align them, to reach them in their positions. So first of all, we know that they are in the row, right? And they should be in the row. We don't need to change the direction to column, because the lily pads are also in the row. So first of all, we have to arrange them to the end of the container. So we can use, first of all, align items to the end, right? So now they are in the end. Now they are in the reverse order as they are in the lily pads. So first of all, we have to we have to change the direction, because the green should be on the right side. So we can use flex direction. We can use row and then reverse. So now the red is on the left side as the red lily pad. So we have to apply one more property, that is justify content. We know that the justify content align the children in the row. So we can use, since the lily pads are in the center of the container in the row, so we can use center. Alright, so now they are in their positions. That's all for the level 13. Let's move on to the next level. The level 14, here we will learn a new property, that is order. We can use the order property for the single elements in the Flexbox container. Here you can see that the green frog is in its lily pad, but the yellow should be on the right hand side. So in the Flexbox, but the default order is 0. If we use order to 0, you can see that it has no any effect. But keep in mind that all the elements in the Flexbox container should be in the sorted order. For example, and if any element has the -1 order, it will come first, and then the elements have the 0 order, it will come on the second, and the positive value will always on the right hand side. So here we are using the order property on the yellow frog. You can see this is the yellow class that we are using. So if we use -1, you can see that this is the order is -1 for the yellow. The other two have the 0 order. So again this is the sorted order. But just this the not our solution. We have to move the yellow onto the right hand side. We can use the any positive value. We can use 1. So this we can also use the 2 or any positive value. This is the solution of level 14. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, here you can see that again the red frog should be on into the first position. So we can use the again the order property. We know that the order should be always in the sorted order. The other have the 0 order. All the elements have the by default 0 order. If we make it negative, it will come on to the first position. So we can use -1 or -2. So now they have the in their positions. That's the solution of level 15. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so this is the level 16. Here we will also learn a new property, that is align self. Like the order, we can use this align self property for the single elements. As you can see, the green are in the position, but we have to move this yellow onto the end of the container. So we can use align self. And what values we can use? We can use all the values that are that we have used for the align items. You know that align items align the elements vertically. So you can see that if we use align self, we can use center. It will move the yellow vertically. So we can use the end property. It will move the yellow frog to the end of the container. This is the solution of level 16. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, here we can use the two properties that we have learned. The order, we are using this order property for the yellow frogs, right? We have to move them onto the right hand side, so we can use any positive value. We can use 10, right? They are on the right hand side. Now we can use align self. We can use align self again to the end, and this is the solution of the level 17. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so this is the level 18. Here we will also learn a new property, that is flex wrap. So you can see that all the frogs are squeezed into the single row, but the lily pads are spread onto the two lines. So we can use flex wrap. It supports these three values. No wrap, this is the by default value that is applied. We can use no wrap. You can see that it has no any effect. So we can use wrap. It will move the frog onto the two lines, multiple lines. So if we use flex wrap to wrap, so all the frogs are now in their positions. That's the solution of level 18. We can also use wrap reverse, but it will arrange them into the reverse order. So we can use flex wrap for this to solve this level. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so here we have to use two properties to solve this level. First is you can see that the lily pads are in the column direction, but the frogs are now in the row direction. First we can change the direction. We can change the direction by using flex direction to column, right? And then we can use flex wrap. Because all the frogs are squeezed in the single row, we have to spread them into the multiple into multiple columns. Flex wrap to wrap. Okay, so now all the frogs are in their positions. That's the solution of level 19. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, you can see that both these levels are same, the level 19 and the level 18, but in the previous level we used the two properties, but now we have to use only the single property because we have only one single line. So there is one new property we will use here, that is flex flow. Flex flow is a combination of these two properties, flex direction and flex wrap. So we can use two. For the flex flow we have to use two values, one for the direction and one for the flex wrap. So first property is they are in the row, but we have to change them into the column, so we can use column, and then we have to use wrap property to distribute them into the multiple lines, right? So the flex flow is the shortcut of the two properties, flex direction and flex wrap. So this is the solution of level 20. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, so in this level, the level 21, here we will again learn a new property of Flexbox, that is align content. All the properties that we are we have learned now, they are only applied on when we have the display flex. If we don't use this display flex, these properties they will have no any effect. So we can use here align content. So you can see that the frogs are spread into the whole container, but the lily pads are in the start of the container. So we can here use, if we use center, so all the frogs are now in the center. So but we have to use the start because the lily pads are in the start of the container. So here we can use flex start. So the frogs are now in their positions. We can use flex start, flex end, center, space between, space around, and stretch for this align content. Okay, so let's move on to the next level. Okay, so here you can see that again the frogs are spread, but the lily pads are at the end of the container. So we can here again use align content to flex end, right? So the frogs are now in their positions. That's the solution of level 22. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, here we have to use the two properties to position the frog in their lily pads. So first you can see that the frogs are in the row direction, but we have to change the direction to the column. So we can use flex direction to column. Okay, so the frogs are now in the column, but there is one problem. The red frog should be at the bottom because the red lily pad is in the bottom. So we can use column reverse, right? And then we can use align content to center. So now all the frogs are now reached there in their positions. So that's the solution of level 23. Let's move on to the next level. Okay, for this in this last level 24, we have to use any 4 properties from all the properties that we have learned, that is justify content, align items, flex direction, order, align self, flex wrap, flex flow, and align content. We can use any 4 properties to solve this level. So what I will do is, first I will use flex flow, that you know that we have to use 2 properties, 2 values for this flex flow. One is the row and other one is wrap to reverse. Okay, and the other property that I will use is flex direction, that is I will use 2 column reverse. Okay, so you can see that the red and green frogs have reached their positions. Okay, so next what I will use is align content. You will use is space between. So you can see that now the yellow frog has shifted to the left side. And lastly I will use justify content to center, and the yellow frog have reached the position. The justify content, you know that it always move the elements in the row, because we have changed the direction. We have changed the direction to column, so the justify content will move will change its direction from row to the column, that we have already discussed. So that's the level 24. We have completed all the levels. Let's click next. So that's the FlexFroggy game. I hope you enjoyed this video and you have learned something new. Let's move. I will see you in the I will see you in the next video. Thank you. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe.